Morning. It's December 6th. It's my sister's birthday. I should call her. Happy birthday, Kathleen. I love you. Um, I have two records. Today, I'm doing two records that are really important to me. The first record was my first favorite record. I used to listen to it every day after school. I bought a copy of this album, became obsessed with it, just listened to it front to back hundreds of times, probably. Um, and it's a record that's maligned. I think it's a perfect record. I think it's 10 out of 10 still. But it embraces a lot of the most kind of embarrassing 90s cliche, kind of guilty pleasure genres of music, like ska and like white boy dub, white boy reggae, white boy rap, kind of this like soulless seeming version of these respected styles of music. But I found it made it palatable to me and really expanded my understanding of music and genres listening to this. There's a truly wild selection of covers on this record. Um, there's Smoke Two Joints is a cover. It's like a novelty song. They do a cool version of. But yeah, again, it's novelty songs are not cool. Like nobody thinks Smoke Two Joints is cool above the age of 15. But except for me, because I'm probably still 15. But We're Only Gonna Die for Our Arrogance. It's actually a pretty bad cover. The original song is way better. And the original song follows that Bubble House thing I was talking about in the Medeski, that just playing it really slow, then playing it medium, then speeding it up. Follows that formula. We're Only Gonna Die for Our Arrogance is the first song on How Could Hell Be Any Worse by Bad Religion. Also a 10, you should listen to that. EP, you should listen to Suffer. Bad Religion is very good. The Descendants are very good. You should listen to Milo Goes to College. And um, Hope from this record was the first. I didn't know it was a cover at the time, but it got me into the Descendants. It starts with a Minutemen sample. This album got me into the Minutemen. It references Fishbone and Bob Marley. There's two covers from another record that's a 10, which is the Harder They Come soundtrack, Jimmy Cliff. He doesn't cover the Jimmy Cliff songs, he covers the Tooth song and the Melodians, the Rivers of Babylon closer. And then this is the first time I heard the Grateful Dead. This is what got me into the Grateful Dead, was this version of Scarlet Begonias. So yes, my understanding of the Grateful Dead was we sold some ecstasy, we sold some mushroom tea, we sold nitrous opium acid, heroin, and PCP. And actually thought that when I heard the original version of Scarlet Begonias, I was like, this is some fucking old man, boring bullshit put back on Sublime. Kind of like the first time I heard about Fish, I was like, real big fish? And then they're like, no, it's like a jam thing. And then I was like, this fucking, put on Sellout, dude. This sucks. To be young. Um, yeah, so I think those are the covers. Anyway, it's a perfect album. Starts out with Waiting for My Ruka, which is like a catchy, simple dub rhythm thing with a cute melody. I like when Bradley Noel goes into like Spanish stuff. I don't know if he's like part Mexican or something. He does that. Caress Me Down and Santeria. He has a bunch of songs where he kind of goes into Spanish things or like Spanish slang. Maybe it's just from growing up in Southern California. Um, I'm qualified to represent the LBC, by the way. I have my qualifications. So Waiting for Maruka, nice calm opener, leads into 40 Ounces to Freedom, which is one of my favorite Sublime songs. It's just a good, solid rock song about, you know, being hopeless, going to the liquor store to drink away your pain, hooking up with some slut, and yeah, it's a beautiful song. 40 Ounces of Freedom. I'm not going back. Then it's Smoke Two Joints, which is corny, but it's fun. You know, it's I like this song more when I was younger, and I thought it was cool to just reference weed. But now it seems kind of corny. Similarly, What I Got is not aged very well. It sounds very corny. Um, After Smoke Two Joints is We're Only Gonna Die for Our Own Arrogance. It's a decent cover. Again, I much prefer the original. But I liked the song a lot at the time, not knowing that it was a cover at all. I was like, this song is amazing. But turns out it's just like a bad bar band reggae version of a perfect song. But I would discover that because of this. After that is Don't Push, one of the best songs on the record. Has my favorite kind of reggae ska, little like Bradley Nowell rap verses on it, and it's a perfect song to me. Stolen from an African land, chased out with a knife, with a face like Bob Marley and a mouth like a motorbike. Oh well, the bars are always open, time is always right, and if God's good word goes unspoken, the music goes all night and it goes. If I was mine, I was love. If I was half fine, I was the love above. Yeah, dude. Song's awesome. After that is the Chiefs Maytals cover. 5446, my number. Again, original is obviously way better, but this is a good version. It has porn sound effects, and it's a fun take on it. It takes it very different from the original, which I appreciate. It's not a straightforward cover. Most of the covers, at least they try to do something unique to make it sound like a new song. After that is Bad Fish, which is an incredible song. It's one of the best Sublime songs. I think it's probably one of the best songs of the 90s. Just pick up an acoustic guitar, play Bad Fish. It's not very hard. And sing. Sing the lyrics to Bad Fish. It's amazing. It's a beautiful song about being a drug addict, about being lonely, about only fitting in with misfits, and that kind of hopelessness and the kind of confused joy mixed with guilt and shame that you experience when you're just partying and doing drugs to try to feel happy, but you know it's not sustainable. You're just looking to reach out to something to save you. You're just like, can somebody please pull me off of this reef? You got your stash under your bed. You're like, yeah, very relatable. Very beautiful song. Bad Fish. After that is another cover, Let's Go Get Stoned. It doesn't sound anything like the song Let's Go Get Stoned. I don't think it's a cover even. I think they just took the title from a classic song. But it's a good song. It's dub elements, kind of reggae groove. It's alright. New Thrash is their just straight up punk rock, kind of 3-chord, snotty punk, no effects song on their record. And yeah, it's pretty good, but I didn't listen to a lot of punk when I got 40 Ounces of Freedom, so I thought it was awesome when I heard it. I was like, yeah, fucking punk, dude. Similarly with Scarlet Begonias, when I heard it, I was like, I actually made one of my first songs, my first rap songs on the intro to this. Just looped the loop at the beginning of it. Back when you had to make loops, you kids don't even know. You kids today, you can just YouTube capture any instrumental, and then make your bad SoundCloud mixtapes. I used to have to make my bad SoundCloud mixtapes in the early 2000s. I used to have to actually cut up the beginning of a drum loop like I'm fucking KRS-One, which didn't even, that's a secret reference. Synchronicity, that's what we call those. Synchronicities. Um, After that is Live at Ease, which has really bad white boy rap. They feature another bad white boy rapper, and the beat is kind of cool, but it's Bradley Knowles out white boying this other white boy rapper. It sounds like they're both doing this like reggae. Not great. Not a great song. DJs is a good song, dude. I heard the Payback's a motherfucking bitch. And then, ain't nothing wrong, ain't nothing right, and still sitting lie awake all night. Yeah, that song rolls. Chica mi tipo, good. Again, he's got a little Spanish, a little Spanish. Right Back. Right Back is one of the best songs on the record. I said Bad Fish is the best song on the record. I think Right Back is my favorite song on the record. I think Bad Fish is probably makes more sense to more people as the best song. Right Back is my favorite by far. I relate to it a lot. It's about just being a slave to being a drug addict, being in unhealthy relationships, kind of wanting to go back to jail, kind of just having a gun, having drugs, having... It's a very sad song. Tweaking by yourself at night can make you feel alone. Your girlfriend says so. She's a little hoe. That don't mean I fuck around. At night last week when you left town. Had no need for that bed in my hotel room. It's my favorite. Eben is a great song. It's about, I think, like a guy who turns into a skinhead and how he changed and turned into a douchebag. It's got a good bass line. And then it is pretty rockin'. It's a good song. After Eben, Date Rape. Date Rape is great. It's kind of a novelty song, kind of a guilty pleasure for people. I think it's legitimately a great ska song. People are embarrassed by ska for some reason. I love Fishbone. I love ska. I saw Fishbone perform this song. They do a great version as well. I should do a Fishbone record. I probably will. I just have to pick one. After that is Hope, which is a good cover of the Descendants song Hope. And that was my first exposure to the Descendants, to that kind of emo punk. And I loved this song. I listened to this song over and over again. This song communicates emotionally so deeply to me. Just the frustration of not knowing how to deal with girls in relationships. And it's an amazing song. You should listen to the Descendants. Thank you, Sublime, for exposing me to so many of my favorite bands. After Hope is KRS-One. Amazing song. I love this song. It's got a rhythmic kind of acoustic, that and then it cuts with these old school like hip hop break beats, and he sings about just loving KRS-One and just like being taught about life by, not by school, but by rap, by listening to hip hop and genuinely embracing that, like unironically loving that and trying to understand what that's about. It's a great song. It's a great acoustic song. And then after KRS-One is Rivers of Babylon, which is one of the best songs on the Harder They Come soundtrack. One of the great reggae songs of all time. And it's just a kind of a soulful, straightforward, acoustic, live cover of it. And yeah, it closes the album perfectly. It's a beautiful album. one of the most influential of my life. I think I missed What Happened, which I guess is also a cover. I think it's based on a B.B. King song. It doesn't sound anything like the B.B. King song. Again, that's what I like about the covers on this. They're usually pretty, except for the Melodians and the Descendants covers, which are pretty straightforward. Usually do something to sublimify the songs. 40 Ounces to Freedom is my favorite Sublime record. Robin the Hood and Sublime self-titled are also very good. Sublime is a great band. You shouldn't be embarrassed to like Sublime. You shouldn't be embarrassed to like any music that's good. You should just try to figure out what music you like, and then you should tell other people about it. Another album that changed a lot about how I listen to music and exposed me to a different kind of music, a different attitude at a older age. This is the first new album that came out after I heard about Animal Collective. And it came in at a good time. Because it's kind of their Kid A. It kind of is the album where, I think it's the first album without Deacon. It's the first album where it's not guitar, synth, like analog synth based, but more of digital. Although there are good use of acoustic guitars in this record, like Unsolved Mysteries. And for Reverend Green, I don't know if it's a treated electric or if it's an acoustic. There's lots of distortion, so it's difficult to tell. There's definitely acoustic guitars in this record, and that juxtaposition of electronic beats with acoustic instruments, something that was perfected on The Soft Bulletin by the Flaming Lips. Another Perfect 10 record. Have to do Soft Bulletin at some point. Anyway, Strawberry Jam. This is probably my favorite Animal Collective record. Sung Tongs, Here Comes the Indian, Meriwether Post Pavilion, Feels. They have a lot of good records. This one is my favorite. Starts with Peacebone. I love the lyrics to Peacebone. I love the loud, kind of dizzying, circular, kind of jarring, that like the propulsive quality of it, and the kind of juxtaposition of these ugly sounds and then these like weird vocal melodies, and the screams. Lots of great screams on this record. A.V. Terrace kind of like doing a version of Primal Scream Therapy throughout the discography. Panda Bear is kind of like an acid-damaged Brian Wilson figure. And then Geologist is just like the kind of sly pimp in the background with the cool Moog sounds and analog synth and programming stuff. And yeah, it's just a perfect three-piece. They're a type of band where they could be switching instruments and vocals, and so you don't really know who's playing what or who's responsible for what sounds exactly. It's kind of has this idea of like a collective where it's not about the individual at all. It's just about creating this spontaneous communal sound, and that's, I think, what is so powerful about the dynamic of Animal Collective. It's inspiring. This album genuinely inspired me to listen to a lot of kind of psychedelic pop music, kind of drony ambient music, dancey electronic music, just straight up techno. All of that I got into after this record as a result of this record. Because I was like, I need more of this. I don't really understand what this is, so I had to figure out all the, like, oh, okay. They're influenced by these guys. Let me check them out. Unsolved Mysteries, wonderful song. It has the and then this kind of sing-songy kind of childlike back and forth call and response that's actually on a lot of songs on this record. And then the loud soft, extreme pretty ugly dynamics. And overblown and then soft, underplayed. They just play a lot with extreme dynamics on this entire record. And it's very almost disorienting. Chores similarly does that. It has this frenetic. If I think too fast, it's in my head. It's just like Panda going crazy. And then it just kind of goes and then pauses and then it goes into kind of a slow sung part. And anyway, just Chores to me sounds like the stream of consciousness of like a 7-year-old who ate too many pixie sticks and is just freaking out. And it's great. Forever Green, classic, beautiful song, heart-wrenching lyrics, has non-literal poetry about, bulimic, miserable in New York, being, it's like, it doesn't make literal sense, it just kind of throws all of these sad, conflicted images at you in a Kids on Holiday from some songs type of way, and then you're just left with this, and then the chorus is great. It has this great that, and then the screaming that I think it's alright, we're together. I think it's alright. Yeah, no, I think it's the best. Sing together now. It's a great song, one of the best songs. Fireworks is the best song. What's today? What you doing? How's your mood? How's that sound, man? It passes right behind me. What is it? Now each day I've been trying to get that taste off your tongue. I've been thinking of just you now. Our cereal is warm, tracked today in the rubble, just a night from before. I can't walk in a vacuum. I feel ugly, feel my pores. It's the trees of today I do battle with for the light. Then I stop to feel tragic. People greet me, I'm polite. I don't need to sing these songs. It's what I can think of the song, and then that's what I want to do. If I wrote a thing, I would describe them, but when I think of them, I want to be in them. I want to remember them. I want to feel them. Fireworks, beautiful. I like the alternate section too. I've been eating with a good friend. Said, "You make me another Earth scan. Promise her she was my birth. Can't just piss me out with a story about real love." That is a perfect build, and then anyway, that it's such a propulsive thing that isn't a lot of the record, but especially on Fireworks and the dynamics, and then the scream works too. That like the rotten baby's poo. They've got to, and then it's everything. This is like a summary of everything I love about Animal Collective. Song after, incredible, perfect, number one. Has this vocal line that sounds like a monster, and then this really pretty, this kind of shaker rhythm, this like, and then this, similar to the Fireworks and the Peace Bone, the propulsive kind of triplet. If you wanted a review of this song, that's 3 seconds. It's that's the whole record. And then it comes back to the Fireworks part after going crazy and falling apart, after the Genie Make Me Another Earth Skin part. Perfect song. I'm back in Fireworks. I haven't had coffee. Number one. Great. Perfect song. Winter Wonderland. It's great. It's good. I don't have that much to say. I'm going long on this one. I need to talk about Winter Wonderland because I need to talk about Cuckoo Cuckoo and Derek. Cuckoo Cuckoo, great underrated song. It said, "Please stay. If you can see me, don't go away. I can't see the landscape." It's so direct, emotional. A.V. Terror just tearing his fucking heart out. just literally screaming, "Where's my mom? I want to hold her tight. She's so far away from crowded nights. I'm going cuckoo." Like, just like his most direct, "I'm losing my mind. I'm scared. I'm hurting. Please, somebody help me. I'm struggling. I'm in pain." Screaming, damaging his vocal cords, screaming in confusion. And this clattery, kind of atonal thing gets set off every time he starts to yell. And then it's kind of this, again, the doo-doo-doo is slow in the background until it gets to that point, and then these kind of like horror movie creep in, like door creak sounds during the quiet parts, and then the chorus is the loud AV screaming his vocal cords out. It's great, cathartic, beautiful, emotional, just emotional vomit. If I could rename this album, it would be Emotional Vomit. Derek, perfect Panda Bear song. It's as good as anything on Person Pitch. It's a great song, and it's so nice as a closer because after the exhausting emotional overwhelm of the record, it's just a kind, sincere love song to your brother. Brother Sport actually is another one that does the same thing. They close it with Panda Bear giving a kind love song to his brother and just encouraging his friends and his family and just being like, "Sorry you're sick, dude." I think "I'm sorry you're sick, dude" is literally a lyric in Derek. He doesn't say dude probably, but "Hope you got over it. It's not easy when you feel sick." And then it ends with the that kind of frenetic. So you get the lull before the frenetic. Most of the songs on this, you get the frenetic, then the lull, or you get the burst, the frenetic, then the burst, and then the lull, and then the frenetic, and then the burst, and then the lull. But Animal Collective's Strawberry Jam and Sublime's 40 Ounces of Freedom, I think, expanded my palette sonically more than any other two records. So, I reviewed them.